phone saying get away. Night or day, it's John DeSando on the radio. We'll watch the credits from up high and low. Cinema Classics on.
Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando. It airs Thursdays at 8:01 p.m. on WCBE 90.5 FM. Listen to shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Audrey Harkonen.
And this is Cinema Classics.
Here we are.
All right. Well, Audrey, you and I are probably the only ones that have seen this movie, so let's bring the word out to our audience.
Yes. Let's see it again, perhaps.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's a good point. I really wanted to see it again. I liked it so much. It's called Jules. And people will recognize the star, Ben Kingsley.
Perhaps they will not recognize the star.
There you go.
He does a great flat Midwest accent. He's got a wig on, he's got glasses on, and he's a crotchety old man.
Yes, that's great. Excellent. Yeah, of course, he won the Oscar for Gandhi, so this guy can do just about anything. And he has a terrific filmography, although in most cases not memorable films since Gandhi.
Right,
Yeah,
not memorable.
Surprising to me.
But very versatile.
Yeah, oh boy, to see, we were talking about him earlier, a little bit like, a little bit like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And these guys are such superb actors, and they don't care what they look like, as long as they can get into character.
Yes, yes.
So what's the deal? Jules, what does that mean?
Okay, Jules, supposed to be sci-fi. However,
What makes it sci-fi?
Well, there's an alien. Okay, there's a very classic 50s, 60s a flying saucer that
Yeah, that's
crashes
great.
in a backyard.
Yes. And which nobody sees.
Interestingly enough, nobody sees.
I love that.
Don't
Don't you think it has that Twilight Zone vibe?
It does. It's
the little neighborhood.
Yeah, and nobody but Milton is most upset about the fact that his azaleas and his bird bath is damaged, as opposed to there's an alien craft in his backyard.
Look at Milton. Now this is the character, the older man. Milton is slipping.
Yes.
But but I need to go back because you sounded like you had an
Okay.
interesting point.
Okay.
However, it's a sci-fi. However,
all right. It is not the high tech. It is not
No, it
special effects. It
No,
isn't
definitely
flashy. It's a very quiet, very small, yet a very, very sweet and sentimental little film.
boy,
It just so happens to
Yes.
have a flying saucer and an alien, by the way.
because of course the story is really about, I don't know what, about people, particularly elderly people
Yep.
who are ignored.
Yep. Friendship among elders, understanding across generations.
Yes.
And kindness without words.
Yes. And
Yeah.
you know, and you bring up a point that I'm going to, when I write about it, bring up what is real about this. He has a very caring daughter
Yes.
who doesn't quite know how to deal with her eccentric dad.
Right.
She's a veterinarian. She's obviously grounded. And I just love how many times have you seen the solicitous daughter
Yes.
with the dad?
Trying to help, and he is not ready. He's not ready for that help. However, he accepts the help, if you will, and I'm doing air quotes, of an alien by the name of Jules, by the way,
Yes.
or Gary, depending on who is addressing him.
But because he has two elderly friends,
Yes.
females,
Yes.
and one is played by Jane Curtin, who is
Oh, she just.
underserved these whole years.
Oh
I
my
see
gosh!
her.
From what a career from her SNL days.
All
And
right.
she is amazing, and it just she just really gives an outstanding performance. We'll talk about what makes her performance outstanding in a minute.
Yes, her flinty character, Harriet Sansom Harris.
Yeah.
whom I don't know that well, except she was in Licorice Pizza and, Phantom Thread.
Yeah, she is a staple
Boy.
in TV.
Wow.
She was,
Yes.
yes, Frasier was probably.
Oh, was it? Thank you. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, Frasier was.
Yeah. And what I like, Audrey, so much about this is that they're not condescending to these characters.
Right,
These ladies are tough, they're with it,
yep,
they're caring, and they're not dotty.
right, right. But what's so very interesting is that each one of these characters tells their story, reveals themselves in some intimate detail, as a matter of fact, including an amazing, unbelievable rendition of Leonard Skinner's Freebird, which we'll get into in a minute.
Oh,
But they reveal themselves to a silent but very sensitive alien by the name of Jules.
yeah,
They all take turns.
yes. Now, the town, when it gets a whiff of this, is not interested at all, right?
No, they're not taking these people seriously. Behind the scenes, there seems to be a government agency that's interested.
Yes.
Looking for again, air quotes, a weather satellite that has come down in
Yes,
this western Pennsylvania
Right.
town. But other than that, nobody seems to care about this.
Because it has that old 50s vibe.
Yeah,
And we visited this time, Wes Anderson's new movie is set, I think, in those, and I'm thinking of the times of the 50s and 60s and even Oppenheimer,
yes.
where we have to go back to a time when I grew up in that time. It was a little before your time, but it was definitely my time. So they do capture the whimsical part of that. And the whimsical hiding under a desk when you're worried about atomic bombs is not this whimsical.
Right.
But the way in which we look back now is so, and I think that there's that whimsy in this.
Very much, very much so.
So, well, I mean, Audrey, what about this alien? It interests me. I'm always interested in the alien, like the guy who comes off the spaceship. Remember the one in the big metal suit?
Yes.
It came from outer space or something. I don't know what it was, right?
Yeah, that was the 50s.
Yeah, that was 50. So I get it with these guys, but what is it with this doughboy?
Well, I think what is so amazing is the facial features, particularly the eyes.
Yeah.
They are penetrating eyes, and which gives that character who is speechless and remains speechless.
Yes.
And I am so glad they
Yes.
never gave that, because I think the actions just spoke so much louder. But yeah, there's something about this character that was so engaging.
And you and I have talked about this before, but I'll repeat it again. I'm not in favor of trying to show aliens or zombies or the devil or anybody. I don't, just let it alone.
Yeah,
You know, I can imagine it's just, I don't. So when they try, they usually fail.
Yes.
In this case, I think you're right. There is something.
There's no voice,
Yeah.
therefore I think it works so much better.
Yeah. And it's those eyes, and eventually, toward the end, we can disclose that he does reveal some feeling.
Yes.
But up until that point, he's pretty much just a tabula rasa or something on which you could put your thoughts.
Yes.
But he's not giving back.
Sitting on the couch, eating apples, saying nothing. It's just, and this is the companionship that poor Milton really wants.
Yes,
It's perfect.
And I do love it. I love the way Milton just kind of accepts it.
Yeah. Just,
He doesn't.
now the women characters are a little more concerned, but they're concerned for Milton and the issues and the difficulties. If Jules / Gary is discovered.
Oh, yeah. And we have to close out soon, Audrey, but I do want to talk about the one place where you could anticipate this, and that was at the town meetings.
Yes.
And how did they strike you as in the story? Now, this is a story about an alien, and you're telling me a town meeting?
Yes.
And what does it do?
Well, the continual appearance of these characters at the town meeting, and there is the town council that sits there and is very quiet and listens to these three elderly characters who pretty much reiterate what they believe should change. By the way, Jane Curtin wants pickleball, which I think was perfect. That Milton wants the name of the motto of the town
That's
changed,
right, that's it.
and he wants a crosswalk somewhere.
Yeah.
And they do this week after week, and then they throw in the alien who knocked over his azaleas and his bird bath, and it barely registers with this council.
And I like the way they presented at the council. It's what we expected, because this is going to be a man with onset Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
We've got to see that somewhere, but we don't see it very often. We do see it there where he repeats himself at the town meeting. You say, oh yeah, he's slipping. But other than that, I really find him not quite normal, but I really, what I like about this is, no, you're not going to have to go through all the pain that he does as somebody with dementia.
Right.
You know, you're just,
Doesn't appear to be suffering.
he does not appear to be.
Hopes.
Yeah, he has little signs, which I think we used to call just getting old. You know, senility, right?
Yeah.
Now we call it Alzheimer's.
Right.
But I've heard, all right, Audrey Harkonen, the movie is Jules, and that's the title of the character who appears in this somewhat sci-fi story starring Ben Kingsley. So Jules, what do you recommend to our audience, Audrey?
Oh, it definitely is a must-see. It just, sit back and just relax and enjoy it.
Yes,
Yeah.
don't expect fireworks in this.
No.
You do have some bad boys with the government guys.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's a story of elderly people who are really pretty with it, very much loving amongst each other, and the town is not quite ready yet for either Milton or his guest, Jules.
Let's go to the movies and share some popcorn, soda pop with our friends. Turn off our cell phones and get away. Night or day, John DeSando on the radio. We'll watch the credits from